Councilman John Nickelson is joining us this morning. Councilman, I appreciate you joining us. Thanks for being here.
Good morning. Thank you for having me.
Want to ask you about crime. We had another murder over the weekend. A teenager in Cedar Grove, a 17-year-old, I believe, is shot. Police still looking for clues. Was this in your district or close to?
It was in my district, and in fact, Aaron, it was 7 or 8 blocks from my house. As you know, and Councilman Fuller knows, I've got 4 children myself. One of them is a 16-year-old. I can't imagine losing one of them for any reason, but to lose one to violent crime is just something I can't get my mind around, and my heart really goes out to Mr. Shiver's family. I'm so sorry for their loss.
What is happening, John, with regard to crime in our city? Why are we seeing this spike right now?
Aaron, I think that countries across the country are seeing a spike in crime. There are multiple factors. One, I believe, is the disordering of daily life as a consequence of the pandemic. But whatever the cause, we've got to talk about short-term solutions, because if we are not all safe in our homes and our community, nothing else matters.
The police chief announced some changes last week to hopefully address it. What are your feelings about what was announced, the plan?
Talk through the plan for me, Aaron.
Shifting more officers into those areas where crime is occurring, mandating overtime for each officer to spend more time. Even if they're working at a desk, they're going to go out in a patrol car and patrol the neighborhoods. They're going to do that every so often. They're going to be assigned to that. It sounds like the effort is more officers on the streets, and he talked about including state police, Caddo Sheriff, and other agencies. A concerted effort. Is that part of the answer?
There's no question that's part of the solution. I would also say that in addition to putting more officers on the street, we need to be proactive in targeting violent criminals. Police presence in communities is important for deterring crime, but it's also important to identify the people who are repeatedly committing violent crimes and get them off the streets and keep them off the streets.
All right, we have a dichotomy, because we have a problem with, right now we don't want to put too many people in jail because of COVID-19. So we've let a lot of folks out, and maybe they were not violent criminals, but they could be moving in that direction. Is that a worry of yours?
No violent criminal should be let out of jail because of COVID-19 concerns. Certainly in Shreveport and in communities across the country, nonviolent felons and other criminals have been let out early. But the community's safety is my primary concern, and so I don't think anybody should be let out of jail or prison who could commit a violent crime and harm citizens.
All right, let me go here, because you and I get in a fight, I'm not going to pull a gun and shoot you. Lavette Fuller and I get in a fight, she's not going to pull a gun and shoot me. Some people are doing that. How do we stop that? Do we do something more when these are little folks, preschool folks? How do we change the mentality of, I'm going to solve my problem by shooting you?
Well, look, there are short-term solutions to the crime problem, and there are long-term solutions. Long-term solutions, without a doubt, include things like early childhood education and making sure that, to the best of our ability, that children's needs are met, that they're educated well, and that they don't grow up to be the kind of people who pull guns when they have a dispute. But in the short term, we've got to deal with the criminals that already exist, regardless of why they are the way they are. And that includes all the things that Chief Raymond talked about last week and that we've just discussed.
What do you anticipate seeing as a result of this effort? Do you anticipate seeing numbers go down quickly?
I hope that we will see numbers decline. I don't know how quickly that will happen. But I will say that in the first instance, the people who have the ability to make those numbers go down, to reduce shootings and other violent crimes, are the people committing the crimes. And so I think and all leadership in the city and all of us need to implore those people, put down your guns. Solve your problem some other way. You're only hurting your own city. We just beg you to stop.
It seems like, Councilman Nickelson, that every Monday morning I come in here and we're talking about another wave of, just midnight last night, we had 2 people shot at Hearn and Hillary Huckabee. We had, again, the teenager dead. It's troublesome for our entire community, and I think it's causing long-term damage in terms of people that think about moving to our area think, maybe Shreveport's not the place, maybe Bossier or DeSoto Parish or somewhere. Do you see it's causing some long-term harm for our community?
I think there's no question that violent crime and the perception of violent crime cause people to consider both not moving into the city and consider moving out. So yes, that is without a doubt a problem that may have long-term consequences.
Okay, I don't know if you were given pre-notice of me asking you this, so I'm gonna throw this one at you.
Are you pivoting?
Yeah, I'm pivoting. You can tell me no pivoting today if you'd like. I'm good with that.
No, that's okay. Within reason, we can pivot.
Okay, the audit committee. There are 4 of you on the audit committee. One of you asked the internal auditor to check out the allegations of the mayor and his driving habits. Was that you?
It was not me. I am not going to comment on that investigation, but I do want to say this, Aaron.
Okay.
The city has so many problems that, in my opinion, are more pressing than that issue. I mean, the public has the right to know the truth, and that's why the auditor and the committee are committed to getting to the bottom of it. But I don't want the city or my colleagues or anyone else who cares about the future of this place to be distracted by that issue. Let's keep our eye on the ball. I mean, let's focus on the things that impact life for everybody, and not on relatively inconsequential issues in the grand scheme of things.
For instance,
that's my opinion about that.
For instance, the GFOA evaluation that we got back.
Yes, ma'am. That's something that's worth talking about. Aaron, we have all talked on the radio and off the radio about the poor condition of the city's finance department. And the GFOA, the Government Finance Officers Association, did an evaluation of the finance department over the course of several months and issued a final report in July, just earlier this month. I should emphasize that this report, to my understanding, reflects the condition of the finance department before Ms. Jones took over as chief financial officer, although she was the CAO last year. And so my hope is that she has made some progress in addressing these deficiencies, and that we will be in a better place soon. But the report really describes a department that is not organized or functioning at all in the way one would expect for an organization the size of the city of Shreveport. It talks about things like lack of clear policies and procedures, poor leveraging of systems that we've already paid for to manage information in the department, lack of training, poor communication, lack of accountability.
It's a pretty scathing report. It really is.
It is scathing, and I've been on like a lot of people. I've been parts of different organizations as a board member over the years, and if I receive a report like this as a member of the board of directors of a private or a nonprofit organization, my hair would be on fire, right? I mean, I would be extremely, and that's how I feel about this report. This is something that requires immediate attention, because if we don't have a finance department that can do basic things like reconcile accounts on a timely basis and manage the hundreds of millions of dollars for which it is responsible, we can't go to the public and ask them to trust us with their money.
One of the pieces in the report says antiquated manual processes are still used. I really struggle with that when we have this, what is Keith Hansen's title?
Chief Technology Officer.
We have this person in place who has supposedly saved us $1 million, yet we're still using manual processes in our finance department. How on earth is this still going on?
Well, look, I have made no secret of the fact that I am a Keith Hansen fan.
Oh, me too.
Keith has done a really good job as Chief Technology Officer, and I think the short answer is that problems with manual processes and other failures to leverage modern technology when this administration started were citywide, and it's not possible for anybody, even Keith, to address all the problems at once. I have had conversations with Keith about this particular report, and I'm confident that he's going to use his expertise to help move us in the right direction. But you're right. I mean, on the one hand, this is the way the finance department was when I was elected and Mayor Perkins and Councilman Fuller were elected. But on the other hand, you know, it's July of 2020, and we've been here for a while. So at some point, we've got to take ownership of the problem and come up with solutions.
Councilman John Nickelson, thanks for your time, sir.
Hey, thank you so much. Have a good morning, both of you.